Hello everybody, Loader for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video, and this time we got some awesome stuff to talk about. I know I'm late on this, and it's my fault for, well actually it's not really my fault, my microphone broke, but I digress. Let's talk about those leaked Vrains Pack cards, and I know I'm late to the party, and this video is not going to get like any views, so guys, if you can help me out and rate, comment, subscribe, share the video, it would be very helpful, because this video is going to get buried and ignored by a lot of people, so yeah, let's get on with this. Moving on. First and foremost, let's talk about the stuff that was revealed last at the stream. We got some awesome stuff in here that I am excited for. Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. There we go. So Link 3 with 2100 attack, points bottom right, and to the left. Needs 2 or more machine monsters to go into. If it's Link Summon, you can activate this effect, special summon 3 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. Level 3 machine wins, attack 0, defense 0. Also, you cannot Link Summon for the rest of the turn. Once per turn, you contribute up to 3 monsters and apply the following effect, depending on the number attributed. 1. Destroy 1 card on field. 2. Special summon a Mecha Phantom Beast from your deck. Or 3. Add 1 trap from your graveyard to your hand. This card is absolutely fantastic for Mecha Phantoms, which is something that they've been needing for a while. Mecha Phantoms, while they have a lot of token generation, they've never been able to really fully utilize it. They have, 2 Synchros and Xyz, and that's about it. The deck is very, how do I put it, it's lacking in its extra deck variety. Heck, neither one of the Synchros are particularly great, and of course their Xyz is the infamous Mecha Phantom Beast Cossack, who, while was good at the time of when he came out, has kind of died down in its power. But however, this card's going to help out the deck a lot. Especially since now they have a really good link to go into. Interestingly enough, this thing does not have the standard Mecha Phantom Beast effect, where if there's a token on the field, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's going to be interesting to see if they kind of toy around with that and going in future with like more support, because you know, if they don't give them all that effect, they can try and make them a bit more powerful to make up for the lacking of the indestructibility effect. Overall, I really like this card for the deck. I don't think it's going to be particularly, it's not going to break the deck or anything, but however, it's really good. And I feel like that most of the time you're going to be going for that second effect, summon a Mecha Phantom from your deck. That's something that the deck has really been needing, along with just more ways to get monsters on the field in general. Next up, we got the Bess Actor Hyper Director. I've been wanting an Abyss Actor Link forever, but I don't know how to feel about this card. He's a Link 1 for one thing, and that doesn't really help out the deck whenever it comes to getting more monsters in the field so that you can actually, be able to Pendulum Summon. Now then, he needs 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, and he points bottom center, just down. Pretty simple. 800 attack. You can only use his 1 effect, which he has 1 effect once per turn. Target 1 card in your Pendulum Zone. For the rest of this turn, you cannot normal or special summon monsters except Abyss Actor monsters. Also, special summon the target card, then take from your deck or face-up extra deck 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster with a different name from that special summon monsters, and if you do, place it in your Pendulum Zone. This card is pretty nice. I don't think he's particularly amazing, mostly because he doesn't fix the issues with the deck for Master Rule 4. They really just need more ways of being able to summon monsters from the extract. And of course, he, along with several of the other monsters, lock you in only being able to summon Abyss Actor monsters, which means you can't make the best Pendulum Link monster, which is good old Electromite. So this card, while he's good, I feel like he's actually going to hinder the deck more, because you really want to try and make Electromite, because Electromite helps you out so much. If the deck ever gets a Link 2, and a good Link 2 at that, that you can use with Hyper Director and another monster to make, that would be really good. But however, right now, I feel like Hyper Director is kind of a one-of. He doesn't do an incredible amount for the deck. It just kind of helps you get stuff out of your zones and shuffle around your zones, which is nice, but I really would have liked something a bit better. Or another effect on top of it. Next up, we got Skye Stricker, a Sig. I'm not sure how I feel about a Skye Stricker monster being in here. I'm going to be 100% honest with that right away. This is supposed to be helping older archetypes. Not an archetype that has been getting support in is arguably still the best deck in the format. So, anyways, it's a Link 2, bottom up, bottom down. That didn't make any sense. It's middle up, middle down. 2 monsters, including a Skye Stricker Ace monster, so that's pretty much any of them. Must be Link summoned, and it can't be summoned by other ways. Can only be Link summoned, so there's no shenanigans with reviving it or anything. You can always summon it once per turn. If this card is Link summoned, you can target one face-up monster in the field, banish it until your opponent's next end phase. Second effect, once per turn you can target one card you control. This card gains a 5 attack, then send a target card to the graveyard. Now, this card I feel like is going to be a one-of in the deck because the banishing effect is really, really nice. The big thing is you can get rid of Thunder Dragon Colossus so you can keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But other than that, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, you can jack up its attack power, but that's nothing too fancy. And I've seen Gary get upwards of like freaking 3K, so I don't know. It's not that crazy. But, however, it's going to be able to help out with making the big Link 4s, because now whenever you like snatch steal one of your opponent's monsters, so if like Widow Anchor, you can easily make a Link 4 a bit easier, so you can try making that Boral Sword and go for a game. So yeah, it's good, but not crazy good. Next up, we got Tenyi Spirits Sahasrara. I'm butchering this. So Link 4, 3k attack, bottom middle, bottom right, top middle, top right. It needs 2 or more worm monsters to go into, and you can only use its second effect once per turn. Harden once per turn. While you control a face-up non-effect monster, your opponent cannot target effect monsters on the field for attacks or with card effects. Now this is encouraging you to also get out the other one of the 2 non-effect monsters in the deck along with him, which is pretty cool. Now then, as a quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, special summon a Tenyi Spirit token, Worm Light, level 4, attack 0, defense 0 to your field. Its attack becomes equal to the target monster's original attack. This card is overall okay. It doesn't do much to help out Tenyis in general. It's so weird. As somebody who's been messing around with Tenyis a lot, the deck really wants to have non-effect monsters on the field, but however, they only have 2 non-effect monsters. Everything else is an effect monster. So it's so weird, and this card doesn't do anything to help out with that. The getting a token is nice, especially since you can turn that token into other materials, and it can help you with getting out your other bosses. But I just don't know. This card doesn't do anything really to help out the deck. It's still going to get played in the archetype, don't get me wrong, especially since you're going to want to generally make this before you make Berserker. But, however, it just doesn't do enough to help out the deck. Next up, we got Artifact Dagda, which I was totally surprised by. I was not expecting a Artifact Link monster in this. Anyways, it needs 2 monsters with different names, and it points bottom left and bottom right. 1500 attack. You only use each of its effects once per turn, and they're hard once per turns. When another card or another card's effect is activated on the field as a quick effect, you can set one artifact monster directly from your hand or deck in your spell and trap card zone as a spell card, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase. If this Link Summon card is destroyed during your opponent's turn, you can spell summon one artifact monster from your graveyard in defense position. This card is pretty good overall for artifacts. Artifacts as an archetype didn't really need a Link so much, but however, it is a pretty nice card for the deck. In general though, this card is probably going to get played in, good old, just artifact engines, when people are playing like, Moral Tech and Lance, or, Scythe, stuff like that. But however, I honestly really like it for general, artifacts, the pure versions. Moving on, Herald of Mirages. Freaking Herald's got a Link monster for some reason. But hey, it's a pretty interesting card to say the least. So, it needs 2 monsters with the same attribute and type except tokens, points bottom left and bottom right. 600 attack, so it's pretty weak. You can only use each of its effects once per turn. First effect, when a spell or trap card is activated, as a quick effect, you can send one fairy monster from your hand to the graveyard, negate that activation. If you do, destroy it. Yay! Herald's got even more annoying negation. In it, if this card in its owner's possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent, you can add from your graveyard to your hand up to 2 cards with different names that are ritual monsters and or ritual spells. This is a pretty good effect as well. You know, just being able to get, basically do a pre-prep for anything, and it's really, really nice in general. I hate how you have to have it destroyed by your opponent's card, but however, it's a pretty good search effect, you know, just get any 2 ritual monsters or ritual spells. If you already got your Herald stuff set up, you can let it die, and then search out 2 more copies of Herald, or the big guy, the big Herald, you know, the level 12, and then you can, you know, either summon them or use them as fodder to pitch for the Herald you already have on the field. So this isn't a bad card at all. I just wish that you could get the search effect without having to rely on your opponent, but oh well. Then we got the card that a lot of people I've been seeing people hype this card up, and I just don't see it. Samorg, Bird of Kings. It's a Link 3. And, okay, so it's a Link 3 Winged Beast effect monster. Wind attribute, of course, like all the Samorgs. 2400 attack, bottom left, bottom center, and bottom right. Needs 2 or more monsters, including a Winged Beast monster. You can only use its third effect once per turn, and it cannot be used as Link material. In this card, also, any Winged Beast monsters it points to cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy one Samorg card you control instead. During the end phase, you can spell summon one from your hand or deck, 1 Winged Beast monster whose level is equal to or lower than the number of unoccupied spell and trap cards, spell and trap zones on the field. This card is just okay. Okay, I know people are hyping it up, and I've got a comment on my Samorg deck profile being like, it's so good! It does everything to fix the deck. No, it doesn't. Okay, Samorgs still only get their effects on normal summon. They still only they still banish themselves after being spell summoned by their own effects, and you still have no way of really being able to make full use of them. You still have to heavily rely on the big boss monsters in order to make an actual board. You still have to rely on being able to get out a big freaking bird that can't be used as link material, so you can't even make it into a bigger bird or bigger monster like Boral Sword, and just... Okay, look, this card is good. It's not that good. This it doesn't fix the deck's issues. All it does do is get you a monster from your deck, which is nice, and it's once per turn during your end phase, which again is nice. But however, it just doesn't do enough to fix the deck or its issues. Okay, let's move on. Maybe I'm just jaded with Samorg, but I just So anyway. Moving on, we got Akashi. Akashi Link 4. Okay, so we got Yuki Onna, the Absolute Zero, Akashi. Okay, first and foremost, why did Akashi get a Link 4? Okay, it's okay as Link 4. It's not going to be hard to get out on the field. But however, they didn't need a Link 4. They needed like a Link 3 or something easy to go into, because Lord knows Akashi need all the help they can get, and this unfortunately still doesn't fix the issues with the deck. So, 2900 attack, it's a Link 4 water zombie effect monster. Points left, right, bottom, right. 2 or more zombies to make. You can only control 1 of it, and you can only use its third effect up to twice per turn. Second effect, negate any activated effect from an opponent's monster that was banished when that effect was activated. So basically, if an opponent tries to activate a monster effect that is in the banished section zone, the unofficial banished zone, you can negate it. It's just a blanket negate any opponent's effect monster that tries to activate this effect while it's banished, which that is mean. I like it. But however, it doesn't come up that much. Like, really, honestly, this effect is only going to be notable against Thunder Dragons and Metaphys. Third effect, if a monster is special from the graveyard, or if a monster effect is activated in the graveyard, you can target one other face-up monster in the field, its attack becomes 0, also negate its effects. This is nice and all, but it's not going to be too crazy. I like it. It's a nice little effect, negation and attack dropping for the deck, so they can try to get more damage. But honestly, this card is going to be played more so in just straight up zombies than it will be in my Akashi. I mean, don't get me wrong, my Akashi are still going to play it, but their extra deck is tight because you're basically locked into only my Akashi monsters, and so you have to, you know, use like at least 1 to 2 of everybody, and then you got this thing thrown in there too, and you got to figure out, oh, what am I going to take out for this? And it just adds another extra layer of annoyance onto the deck. And then we got some other stuff that was revealed the first time around that I missed out on. I did do a community post kind of sharing my general thoughts on these, but I want to talk about it too. So we got Union Carrier. He's a Link 2, 1000 attack, points right and bottom. Needs 2 monsters with the same type or attribute, and it cannot be used as Link material during the turn it was Link summoned. And you can only use its effect once per turn. And it has a pretty simple effect. You can target one face-up monster you control, equip 1 monster with the same original type or attribute as that monster from your hand or deck with this effect. It gains 1000 attack. If you equip the monster from the deck with this effect, you cannot special summon a monster of that name for the rest of this turn. This is a pretty good card overall. It's obviously intended for ABCs, but just about any deck can use it. And you could theoretically use it in certain decks out there to be able to use him for, you know, basically searching. So what I'm saying is, let's say you have, let's say you're playing Heraldics, okay, and you have a Earth, I think he's a beast, out on your field, okay, doesn't care about the level, yeah, or just heck, an Earth monster or a beast monster out on the field. You link summon into Union Carrier, discard a card, target your Earth or Beast monster, and then put Heraldic Leo out onto your field. Then you link away with that guy or Xyz summon him, and Leo goes to graveyard. Leo gets you a search. That's kind of what I was thinking about with this in terms of just general usage. Obviously, that's also what they're intending with like ABCs, because I believe B Buster Drake should also work the same way, where he gets into the graveyard while equipped and you get to search. But however, I don't see this being heavily used outside of ABC, in all honesty. But I don't know. Who knows what kind of crazy shenanigans people are going to come up with. Then we got one of my most hyped cards, Ancient Gear Ballistic Shooter. Hell yeah. So, Ancient Gear Ballistic Shooter is a Link 2, points right and bottom left, 1500 attack. It needs 2 Earth Machine monsters to make. If it's Link Summon, you can add 1 Ancient Gear monster or Gear Town from your deck to your hand. I am so happy we finally got a Gear Town searcher. It's so nice. I don't even care that I can also search Ancient Gear monsters. That's what mainly Wyvern's for. But Gear Town searching is great. Second effect, you can target 1 spell or trap card you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy the card you control, and if you do, the opponent's monster's attack and defense becomes 0 until the end of this turn. This just makes 3 OTK so much easier, and it is wonderful. I love it. This card is great. Okay, so like generally speaking, you search Gear Town, you activate the Gear Town, you use this guy's effect, target the Gear Town, target an opponent's monster, pop your Gear Town effect, special summon, I don't know, Reactor Dragon from your deck, or even better yet, freaking Ancient Gear, no I know, yeah, it has to be Reactor Dragon, because Golem can't be special summoned by that. Okay, so anyways, so you summon out the Reactor Dragon, and then maybe like you have some other materials out, because generally speaking I see this as being a combo extender. So going through the standard Ancient Gear play, where you would activate Gear Town, activate Catapult, targeting the Gear Town, destroy the Gear Town, special summon out freaking Ancient Gear Golem, Gear Town effect, summon out, oh god, what is his name? Wyvern to search Box. Box searches, it's been a while since I've ran through it. Freaking Gear Frame, normal summon the Gear Frame, effect, discarding the box to search out Ancient Gear Fusion, link away Ballistic Shooter, and link away freaking Ancient Gear Frame and Ancient Gear Wyvern for Ancient Gear Ballistic Shooter, effective Ballistic Shooter, add another Gear Town, activate the Gear Town, activate Ballistic Shooter, targeting the Gear Town, targeting your opponent's monster, destroying the Gear Town effect, summon a Reactor Dragon from deck, and then activate Ancient Gear Fusion, fusing away the freaking fusing away the Gear Golem, along with 3 dudes in your deck for good old Ancient Gear. No, 2 guys, because 2 guys for good old Ancient Gear I don't think, can you make Chaos Giant with that? I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, let's just be on the safe side and say you fuse for Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. And then you could, if you have the Overload Fusion, you could link away this guy by using him and Reactor Dragon for like a Platinum gadget, so you can do even more combo extending. But however, if you happen to have Overload Fusion, and that's the only reason I would do this, is to activate the Overload Fusion and make Chaos Giant to go for game. There we go. Oh god, it's convoluted, but it works, and I love it. I'm so happy that this deck got this card. It's so good, and it adds another layer of just added help for the deck that it's needed for so long. Then we got a card that people were severely confused by for a little bit. Extra Hero Held Divisor. This is so it seems like every time we get support for one of the hero archetypes out there, we get a link for them as well. This is the Evil Hero, Extra Hero, and it's a pretty good card. I like the artwork, and it's got okay attack power. It's a link 2. God, he looks so cool though. 1700 attack, bottom left, bottom left and bottom. 2 hero monsters to go into. If it's linked, somebody can reveal 1 hero fusion monster in your extra deck. Add up to 2 fusion materials with different names listed on it from your deck to your hand. You cannot summon monsters this turn except for hero monsters. Fiend monsters discard points to, gain attack and defense equal to its level times 100. That second effect is just irrelevant. You're going to link away with this guy for like extra hero Wonder Driver or something after that. So the reason why I'm personally hyped for this card is because it does a lot for retro heroes, and it does a lot for evil heroes, for old school evil heroes. Okay, I'm talking about the stuff that focuses on the named hero fusion monsters, you know, Flame Wing Man, Inferno Wing, all of that, because with this you just search out their fusion materials right then and there. No, you can't like reveal Ab-Zero and search out a water monster and a hero monster. Unfortunately, that's not how this works. So it's really nice for the older school hero decks, but it's not going to be very helpful for modern hero decks, which does suck, but oh well. Then we got Reptilian Echidna. Not the Echidna I'm used to seeing, to be honest, but hey, it's still cool. Great. I was going to say stats, but then I remembered it has 200 attack. Points left and bottom right. 2 monsters, including a reptile monster. You can only use it's a 1 and 2 effect each per turn. If it's linked, somebody can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0. During your main phase, you can add a number of reptile monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, up to the number of monsters with 0 attack your opponent controls. Also, you cannot special monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for reptile monsters. This card is nice, but it doesn't do much to really help out Reptilians. Reptilians are still slow as heck, and really could use some more support in general. And this, along with, I think it was Naga that came out in the last set or something, are both great cards for Reptilians, but they really do need more support in general. This card's also pretty decent for just any reptile deck in general, but however, again, it's just not particularly great. I'd rather make the alien link most of the time, so yeah. And then we got the card that I'm going to be honest, I'm most hyped for this card. Okay, it beat out the Ancient Gear hype because this deck has hardly gotten any support, and I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. She's great, she's beautiful, and she helps out this deck so much. Bloom Harmonist, the Melodious Virtuoso. Link 2, a 1000 attack, bottom left and bottom right. Needs 2 fairy monsters to make it. If this card is linked, somebody can discard 1 card. Special summon 2 Melodious monsters of different levels from your deck to your zones this card points to in defense position. You cannot special summon monsters this turn. You activate this effect except Melodious monsters. If a Melodious monster this card points to attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. And of course, the first effect is a hard once per turn. This card is amazing for Melodious. It really is. You just link summon it, discard a card, get out Diva. Oh god, what was it? I can't remember the names, but you get out the one that prevents your opponent from destroying your monsters by targeting them and by battle, and you get out the one that protects them from being destroyed by card effects, and then you have literally you have monsters that cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects or destroyed by battle, and everything's basically abeals, and it's great. My only real issue with this card is that it has to summon them to the zones it points to, which means that you're going to have to link this away into something else or get it out of your extra monster zone if you want to make any other fusions. But that's not the biggest issue, in all honesty. I just absolutely love how it just helps the deck so much. Moving on, I don't think I ever covered these cards, so I'm just going to cover my butt with this. First and foremost, we got Crossroads Dragon. It points left and right, and has 800 attack, which is just kind of pathetic, but oh well. You need 2 monsters of different types to make it, so like a warrior and a plant, for instance. You can only use its first and second effects once per turn, or dragon and plant. Just dawned on me. So during the main phase, as a quick effect, you contribute this card and 1 plant monster you control. Spell summon 1 rose synchro monster or plant synchro monster from your extract. This is treated as a synchro summon. If a monster you control is destroyed by card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Spell summon 1 rose dragon monster from your graveyard. So during the main phase, you tribute it off. During your opponent's main phase, like just as they're about to go into battle phase, you tribute this card and 1 plant monster you control. Spell summon Rose, like Black Rose Dragon, nuke the board. Since Black Rose Dragon was just destroyed by a card effect, you banish Crossroads from your graveyard, and then you summon Black Rose back from your graveyard. Just absolutely fantastic card for the Rose Dragon archetype. Doesn't do much to really help the deck become an actual viable casual deck even, but it does help out the deck quite a bit. Next up, we got World Keymaster Lib. Oh god, I wish they would just hurry up and make like an anime based on the World Legacy archetype story in general. So anyways, 2000 attack, points left and right, left and bottom left. Needs 2 monsters to go into. Cannot be link summoned unless there's a World Legacy card in your graveyard. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. During your main phase, you can set 1 World Legacy spell or trap card directly from your deck to your field, but you cannot activate that card during this turn unless you have a World Legacy monster in your graveyard. If this link summon card is sent to your graveyard as a link material, you can you can shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. It does not target. So that's pretty good overall. Very good card. Definitely going to help out World Legacy decks. I could totally see anything from Crawler to World Chalice to Mech Knight playing this. It's just going to be overall great for those archetypes. Then we got Companion Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. I am so happy this card got printed. Buster Blader is one of my favorite retro archetypes, and I'm so happy that it got more support. And this is adorable artwork and just makes me sad. So it's a light dragon link effect monster, 400 attack, points bottom left to bottom right. The best arrows it can have. 2 monsters to make it, so it's even easier to summon. If this card is linked summon, you can send 1 Destruction Sword card from your deck to your graveyard. Then you can spell summon 1 Buster Blader from your hand, which is really good and fixes the problem with the deck of, well, Buster Blader getting in your hand. You generally don't want them there. At the end of your battle phase, if your opponent controls no monsters, you can target 1 of your Buster Blader monsters that did not declare an attack this turn and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. Now, this fixes an issue with the deck that's been around for ever, where if you have the fusion out and he can't attack directly, so if your opponent has a bunch of monsters, has no monsters, you can't really punch them for a buttload of damage because the Buster Blader fusion goes up by like 1,000 for every dragon they have in their graveyard or control. And if you can't attack, you don't win. So this is really nice for what it does, in that it kind of helps with that. Obviously the main thing is this first effect, but the second effect does come in handy from time to time. And to my knowledge, that is basically all of the links from Vrains Pack 3. I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2, but also we still don't have all of them revealed. There's 1 more link that has yet to be revealed yet, and so I'm just excited overall for these. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't think I ever covered the 5-headed dragon link, but I like it. So yeah. What do you guys think about Vrains Pack 3? Obviously, we won't be getting it here. We'll have to wait for Konami to give us these cards in one way, shape, or form. Hopefully, they don't take as long as they have for Vrains Pack 1. I don't think we even have all the yeah, that's right. We don't have Needle Fiber yet. We don't have all the freaking Vrains Pack 1 cards. So, who knows when we're going to get those. So, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out. Thank you all for watching the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And see y'all later.